Today is a great day for you. The beginning of a quest that may shape the future of Adunia and perhaps even the world itself. But now you are in my domain, in a land of dreams, and I am interested in you. Know that your life force lights up like a very bright star in the eternal constellation of time and space. Tell me of yourself, mortal. Are you a man or a woman? Thank you, mortal. Please describe yourself for me. I thank you, mortal. Now, what is your chosen profession? I thank you, mortal. But now you must wake and rise with the morning sun, for your adventure is about to begin.
You have entered the famous Great Tournament to become the new Royal Adventurer of the Kingdom of Idunia. Today is the first day of the tournament. You stand in the center of the tournament field, surrounded by colorful tents and pavilions. Between the tents, on long wooden benches, sit men and women, farmers and craftsmen, spectators from all corners of the kingdom. Next to you on the field stand your opponents. All the warriors with a desire to become the new Royal Adventurer of Idunia. Before you, at the far end of the field, rises a wooden stage, decorated with shields and flags of all the provinces of Idunia. On the stage sits King Valdemar on a wooden throne, surrounded by his royal advisors. The king rises from his throne, and the murmur of the crowd ebbs away. "Warriors," speaks the king, "you have gathered here today to participate in a great event, a great tournament in which you will do battle to prove yourself worthy of the title of Royal Adventurer of Idunia. I wish you all the best, and may Odin be with you." The king raises his hand in salute, and then takes his place upon the throne. The warriors on the field disperse, and as you follow them to the edge of the field, you see that two warriors remain, facing off against each other. The first day of the tournament has begun. Do you wish to start your first battle of the tournament? It is the first day of the tournament. Your first opponent emerges from a simple brown tent and enters the field. He doesn't appear too threatening, a farm boy by the looks of it, carrying an old sword and shield, which have seen better days. The young man steps forward and addresses you. "Greetings, warrior. I wish you a good fight and may the best of us win." With that, the young man readies his weapon. On the great stage at the far end of the field, the king's steward rises. He holds out a wooden rod and then casts it onto the field. The young man, enthusiastic and strong as he may be, is no match for your skill and prowess. The young man raises his hand. "Stop! Enough! You have beaten me. I surrender to your might." As you nod in approval, the spectators rise from their benches and give you long and enthusiastic applause. From the wooden stage, the king's steward descends and walks towards you. "Well done, warrior. Here, the steward hands you a leather pouch containing 5 gold coins. You come upon a large brown tent of thick leather. From an improvised chimney, columns of thick black smoke rise up. From the inside of the tent comes the sound of loud clanging and banging, of hammering, the sizzling of hot steel and the wheezing of bellows. A great heat emanates from the tent. As you approach, the noises stop, and from the opening of the tent appears a large, burly man, clad in a leather apron stained with soot and ash.
Ah, you must be that young adventurer. I have heard about you. It seems you have great skill for a youngster such as yourself.
The man smiles wearily.
Well, I wish you all the best in the tournament. If you need weapons...
The man sits down upon a wooden stool in front of the tent and takes a pipe from one of the pockets of his apron.
My name is Bjarni, by the way. Glad to have met you.
You come upon a red tent of expensive-looking cloth. The cloth is embellished with strange arcane symbols in a golden thread. Next to the tent lies a small, glittering pond. Before the tent stands a wooden table, and behind it, on an expensive-looking wooden chair, sits a middle-aged man. The man seems to be scribbling something on a piece of parchment, and is mumbling softly to himself. He seems to be wholly unaware of your presence. As you make your presence known, the man looks up with a start. He peers at you, squinting his eyes. "Oh, I am sorry. I did not hear you approach. But where are my manners, my tears-lost hand? I'm getting to be a quite the old fool." The man smiles at you. "Let me introduce myself. I am Fasold, traveler and storyteller, and you are one of the contestants in the tournament, are you not? How very kind of you to visit me. I am here for posterity, you see, to document the tournament and all the fights, and give a true and honest account of all what happens here. Feel free to ask me any questions you like. I have traveled far and wide, and seen many strange and magical places, and can tell you a lot about the history of the kingdom of Idunia. Only not right now, if you please. I'm very busy recording your last fight, which was quite a show indeed. But return soon and I'll tell you everything you want to know." It is the second day of the tournament. Many would-be warriors and inexperienced participants have been defeated and carried off the field, amidst praises and cheers for the victors. Now, it is your turn again to do battle. From a richly decorated tent, your second opponent emerges and walks onto the field. It is a young nobleman from Lysa, clad in chainmail and carrying a long sword. The nobleman steps forward and addresses you. "What's this?" The young man speaks haughtily. "I had expected more than such rebel." The young nobleman seems overly confident, but not very experienced. On the great wooden stage, the king's steward rises and casts the wooden rod upon the field. The young nobleman lies defeated upon the field. The spectators rise from their benches and give you a long and enthusiastic applause. From the wooden stage, the king's steward descends and walks towards you. "Well done, warrior. Here is your reward for your second victory." The steward hands you a leather pouch containing 15 gold coins. As you arrive at the tent, you see Bjarni sitting on his wooden stool, smoking his pipe. As he sees you approach, he tucks the dagger away in his belt and rises to meet you with a friendly smile.
Hello there, youngster. I saw you do battle yesterday. What a great fight it was. You are a fine warrior indeed.
Bjarni takes a long puff of his pipe.
But even the finest warrior is nothing without his weapon or armor. Is that not so? And I would be pleased to help you with that in any way that I can.
You have retired to your tent to sleep until the next day, when the third day of the tournament awaits you. You fall quickly asleep. Suddenly, a noise awakens you, something of a branch cracking beneath a boot. All is dark around you. The only light comes from a faint ray of moonlight, falling in through the opening of your tent. You hear a muffled sound, then a whispering voice. Damn you! If he has heard us, the mission is lost. Come now, quick and quiet. Slowly, the flap of your tent is moved aside. The moonlight illuminates two shadowy figures holding long daggers. You have just the time to rise and reach for your weapon before the figures move swiftly towards you. The shadowy figures lie defeated before you. They wear black leather clothes, their faces hidden behind black scarves. The daggers that lie in their now lifeless hands have a wavy blade and seem coated with a strange substance. As you search the assassins, you find an expensive-looking piece of parchment, folded neatly in two. As you open it, you see it's a letter, written in a flowing, elegant handwriting. The letter reads, "Your mission is this. Enter the tournament grounds at night. Find the warrior the master has warned us about, and destroy him. He must not be allowed to live. The master commands it." The letter is unsigned. A further search of the assassins reveals a concealed leather pouch, holding 20 golden coins. As you complete your search of the strange men, you decide that leaving them dead in your tent would cause some questions to be raised. With effort, you take up the men and carry them swiftly and silently out of your tent and to the edge of the tournament field, where you hide their bodies in the thick underbrush. As you come upon the tent, you see Fasold sitting in his chair. His head has dropped forward into the large book on the table, and he is snoring loudly. As you approach, he suddenly stirs. Hey now! Take it easy there, young one. Sneaking up to an old man lost in concentration like that. I was just busy with something which required a great deal of concentration, I can tell you. But here you are, in need of education, I see. Please, I was just dreaming. Thinking about one of the goddesses of our fair land. Please, let me tell you about them. As you arrive at the tent, you see Bjarni talking to two royal officers. The officers seem to be asking him several questions, to which Bjarni replies by shaking his head and raising his shoulders. After a moment, the officers take their leave and Bjarni turns towards you.
Friend. Good you're here. Seems there's been some excitement last night. They found the bodies of two men, assassins it would seem. At least, that is what the officers have told me.
Bjarni looks at you with interest.
But what they were after has apparently got the better of them. At any rate, good riddance to the scum, I say. Now, how can I help you?
It is the third day of the tournament. The list of entrants is thinning rapidly. Only a few warriors remain. Upon the tournament field, the spectators have already taken their place upon the benches. Among them, one rises up and waves enthusiastically at you. You recognize Bjarni, and next to him, looking up to him and smiling, sits Ciri. She turns her eyes to you and raises her hand in greetings. Your next opponent emerges from a blue silken tent. You see an attractive young woman take to the field, clad in a partial plate mail and a silver winged helm. In her hands she holds a spear and wooden shield. Clearly, the woman is a shield maiden from the Valkyrian order. As the shield maiden strides onto the field, she looks at you inquisitively with radiant blue eyes. She takes a short bow before you. I salute you, brother. May Odin bless us, and all the Valkyries watch over our jewel. Her voice is soft, but with a firmness and determination to it. On the great wooden stage, the king's steward rises and casts the wooden rod upon the field. The young woman falls back before your might. Her shield is splintered, her spear on the verge of breaking, and her armor is cut in several places. You have defeated me, brother, she speaks softly. You clearly are a great warrior, and Odin has blessed you. As the young woman retreats to her tent, the spectators who have watched your battle with intensity and cries of awe rise from the benches and give you a long and enthusiastic applause. From the wooden stage, the king's steward descends and walks towards you. A fine performance, warrior. Here's your reward for your third victory. The steward hands you a leather pouch containing 30 gold coins. You come upon a blue tent, embroidered with silver images of flowers and woodland animals. From the tent, a strong scent of herbs and spices reaches you. You can hear someone softly singing inside. As you approach the tent, the singing stops, and moments later, a young woman emerges from the tent. The woman smiles as she sees you.
Hello there. I haven't seen you here before. Are you in need of healing? Or perhaps some potions? I am Siri, the druidess, and you are in a tournament. I recognize you now. I'm most pleased to meet you. If I can help you with anything, please let me know.